that even though this man has gone and several others after him have gone, but the name of the family still continues to reign, and they're still effective in our society as
This is an opportunity for you to see her. Send comments if you want to direct comment to her. I will pass it across. So, ma'am, you are welcome.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate the fact that you agreed to join me.
Thank you so much.
So, without wasting much of our time, we are going to go ahead and dive right away into what we have today. All right? So, but I do have some questions for you, Sister Dayo. A couple of questions which probably might be the catalyst for what you are going to be talking today. Number one, are you financially literate? So when we are talking about literate, are you financially educated? Number two, how are you growing and protecting your finances? And number three, do you actually understand the rules and the rudiments of money? And number four, I have here, say, and here's the big one. Are you really living the American dream or just working hard without plan? All these questions, I believe that by the time we finish this program today, my sister Adedayo, will be able to supply answer to those. So again, Sister Dayo, what do you want to say about those four questions I just posed to you? Let's take it one by one. Go ahead.
Yes, certainly. And talking about literacy, a wise man said that when you're talking about literacy of the 21st century, you don't talk about people that cannot read or write. It's really people that are willing to unlearn, relearn, and unlearn, learn, and relearn whatever they know. So, a lot of us come as immigrants to America. And yes, we know about money, but do we really know about money? That's where financial literacy comes into place. Financial literacy is knowing all the tools and skills to manage your personal finances. It talks about growing your money. It talks about budgeting. It talks about knowing how to protect yourself, being aware of your credit, because we're in a credit-based system, right? And then also the big elephant in the room, like I choose to call it, taxes. That's something that a lot of us do not know about. So when we're looking at financial literacy, it's not just one aspect alone. We have to evaluate and attempt to understand how all of these many pieces play together, thereby ensuring, like I said, that you're securing what really matters to you.
That's great one. And like I mentioned in my introduction, we say many people, they do work hard, right? I met several people here in the US. They work tirelessly from one job to the other and making the dollar. Are you following me? I even try to ask them about their retirement plan and how their 401k, 403b, which I do have too, really works for them. They cannot give a cogent answer to those questions. So now, but how do you now try to explain those things that people, because when you're talking to people about finance, they say, no, I have future plan, I have 401k. Let's start from here, and they will now bring it probably to other means of finances.
True.
And I do believe my wife has a lot of questions. Please.
Yes, and
Get ready.
our viewers as well. Okay, we'll get to it. Okay, so talking about retirement, like you said, so many people work hard in this country, but we're told, oh, your employer has this plan for you, and it's exciting because so many people will not even take some jobs because they don't offer them those benefits.
Exactly.
Now we have the benefits in quotes, but I feel like a lot of people are so excited about it because also they don't have to do any work as it relates to managing that retirement plan, right? But it's so sad that yes, you work for decades, 20, 30, 40 years in some instances, believing that you have your retirement nest, as it is called, only for you to get out of employment, active employment. You start to draw and you realize that you do not even have an inkling of how those monies you're going to be drawing from your portfolio is going to really serve you. For instance, imagine someone has worked and they feel like, okay, well, I need $100,000 every year in my retirement to maintain my current lifestyle. Then you realize upon retirement, you've made your own many projections, but then you now realize that, oh, if you really need $100,000, it's not that $100,000 you have to be taken out of your retirement nest. You have to factor in taxes.
Absolutely.
So, that's one of several. Not to even talk about how your retirement nest being in a volatile account can underserve you or shortchange you, because you have a projection of, when I retire at age 65, at age 70, I'll have $1 million, I'll have $2 million. And then something shakes in the stock market. And what you were projected to take out upon retirement, you'll now be getting like a fraction of it.
Okay. And that now brings us to this question of financial literacy. Let's define it for our viewers. Let's try to give brief discussion about when we say financial literacy, what exactly are we talking about? Because it's not like, okay, I am educated, I know how to make money. Go ahead, ma'am.
So, like I said before earlier, it's all about having the basic knowledge and skills to manage your personal finances. That's like your layman explanation of it. Now, of course, when it comes to managing your personal finances, you talk about, okay, what are your investments? You talk about budgeting. You talk about, okay, well, if I want to make a big dollar purchase, for instance, what plays into what I need? You have to think about your debt management. Okay, are you going to be taking a loan? If you're going to be taking a loan, what do you need? What is your part to play as it relates to you securing that loan or funding? Financial literacy covers a whole range of topics or areas, but basically it's knowing the skills and the tools and the understanding of how to, make all these things work together to your advantage.
And that reminds me, and that's why many people are seriously in debt, because again, some people say don't take credit card. Not that taking credit card, not that it's bad. But those who use credit card, they use it with smartness.
Yes.
They use it to make money. From the money they made, that is how they pay the interest. And so therefore, equation balance. They are not losing anything. But when you take credit card, you are buying food, you are taking people to a restaurant, you are doing party. You are doing yourself.
Yes.
The party is not going to generate any income for you to pay back the interest. Now, and that brings me to the next question. The American dream. Is the American dream really still make sense these days in the actual sense of American dream? In reality,
there is still the American dream, but I think it has shifted from what a lot of us thought it was. For a lot of us coming into the country, it seemed like the American dream was purchasing a home, having your white picket fence, you have your car, that's what used to be the American dream. But now, all that has shifted.
Absolutely.
Because if you have a home, like someone once said it, okay, people will buy homes, especially in our community, they will go to church, praise the Lord, I just bought a home. But when you think about it, did you really purchase a home or did you buy the mortgage? Right? Because it's a mortgage, the bank has financed you.
Absolutely.
Now, God forbid, if something happens, a person loses their job, a person passes away, a person is challenged in their health, and they're unable to make the payment on that home, then you realize that the real owner comes for it.
And they take the house.
They will take the house, whatever has been paid.
Irrespective of investments you have made into the house.
Yeah. So that's why, having that financial literacy, understanding debt, like you also mentioned, not all debt is bad. We're in a credit society.
Absolutely.
Whether we like it or not, we still have to use credit because that affects our credit rating, right? But you need to be smart about how you use credit.
Thank you so much for that. Meanwhile, let us give a brief pause and we'll be back. All right, welcome back again. This is Banji Lawa for Banji Media, the Heavenly News. I remain your anchor man for this topic we are discussing today. It's nothing, it is about finances. How do you manage your money? You know how to make money. I agree with you. Please continue to make money. But when you are making money, are you sure the money you are making today, you are saving today, will still have the same value tomorrow? And if it does, where will you be? And that brings us to the next segment that we are looking at right now, which is life insurance. And I do know, honestly, including me, that's why I brought my wife here, because nobody can convince me to buy life insurance, because my perception is life insurance is not for me, it's for those who are behind when I left. But I've been having some discussion with Sister Dayo, and she kept on telling me that mindset needs to be shifted. That understanding of what life insurance is wrong. So we are going to dive into that right now. So Sister Dayo, one area that a lot of people overlook when we talk about financial literacy and protecting wealth is life insurance.
Yes.
Do you agree with me?
I do.
Many people think it is just about having something in place when they pass away, which has been my perception, and my wife will agree with me. Is it true? Is it not true?
It's not only you.
How many times we discuss,
yeah.
we say, but darling, what are we going to get out of this?
Yes.
The children can take care of themselves. We have taken care of them. They have good education. But started making me understand that it goes beyond that. Even while we are living, we can still make money. And that now brings us to that. Now, briefly, what is life insurance? And what are the other things that's under the umbrella of life insurance? I want all my viewers to know that. Please go ahead.
Okay. So life insurance, as you mentioned, is a protection account. There are different types of portfolios that people use, right? Portfolio just means how you're maybe growing your money or protecting your money, whichever way. So there are different portfolios, but one that is often overlooked in this country, well, maybe across the world, but especially in our community, is life insurance. It's so powerful, and that's because of a misconception that a lot of us have had, that including me. I also believe that, okay, well, life insurance is something that a person gets and then bequeaths to their loved ones, their beneficiaries. Most times we think about children, but not so. When we talk about, life insurance, the well-informed, right? Those that are well-informed in this country, they're using it to do wonders for themselves and generations to come. If you think about the Rockefellers, for instance, that's a household name that a lot of us know about, but very few of us have even attempted to study and say, okay, well, how is it that even though this man has gone and several others after him have gone, but the name of the family still continues to reign and they're still effective in our society as it is. So life insurance, yes, there are many types to it. The one that is very popular, which a lot of us know about, right, are the ones that, like you said, you get it, the person passes, they give it to the children. And of course, man is selfish in their own ways.
Absolutely.
Why should you be the one working, running from one shift to
Yeah,
the other, right?
Another
And
person
then
come and
somebody just sits and says, okay, well, when are you going? So that
and we do know that some people, they plan the death of their loved one in order to get this money.
Yes.
So you can see how dangerous it could be.
Exactly. So while it is, we have such, coverages that I tend to call death insurance, because yes, until that person passes, nothing can be paid. We have the one that is a true life insurance, which means while you're still living, you can take advantage of it.
Now, hold on to that thought right there. So I want to read this, some terms I have here. Maybe what you are telling me now fall into this one, because when they are selling you insurance, they get you confused. So here I have what they call term life, whole life, universal life. You're hearing all this, you get confused. Okay, which one is it that I can make money while I'm still living?
Okay.
I want to know.
So when I talked about the
is that not true, my wife?
Yeah, that's true. That's exactly the question I have in mind.
Okay.
What is the best life insurance can someone?
So before we get into maybe which is best, right? Because I feel like best, people will say that's subjective. It depends on what
you want.
Right.
There are some people they even want to give something for their loved one, which is
Yes.
okay. But again, even the one that say if I can cash out, wouldn't that can still be translating to leaving legacy for my children?
Correct.
Okay,
Correct.
good.
I mean,
Explain this in simple terms.
Every life insurance gives something at the time the person passes, because it is still coverage that is taken on a life, and the expectation is you would designate a or many beneficiaries, right, on that policy. Now, talking about the different types,
Okay.
I would say
Term
two
life.
that are very popular. Yes, term is like maybe the most widely popular, but before term you talk about group, which is still a type of term, because you talk to some people, they'll tell you, oh, I have coverage at my job.
Absolutely.
And
Like
those
I do.
ones, most people like I said when I first introduced myself, a lot of people would not even take a job because they're not giving them some benefits,
Absolutely.
right? But what people fail to realize is those benefits are temporal. The group one, for instance, it's not even, you don't own it, the employer owns it. Which means if a person leaves a job,
I'm
they
listening
could
to you.
they
That's
could
a
lose.
hand.
Yes.
Okay.
Sometimes you can transfer it, but how many people really know that they can transfer? And even if they can transfer, it's just a short window of time that transfer needs to be done. So hence you see people that
How do you transfer
when you
insurance when you leave a job?
when you leave a job. So if you remember, at your job they didn't give you the contract, you have a certificate. It's just a paper saying, okay, well, you're covered under this big policy that the company owns. So at the time you're leaving that job, you can now elect it to still be with the same company.
Oh,
You're just transferring ownership
okay.
from the employer now to you as an individual. Now, of course, if you are just paying very small or barely nothing on that coverage, at the time you now say, okay, well, I'm leaving this job, I now want to own this. You have to do it within, it depends on the state, but usually maybe not less than 30 days after leaving that one job. And bear in mind, it's going to cost a lot more.
Meaning now, all along your company has been paying for
Yes,
it just to make sure we get
exactly.
it clear, right?
Correct. It's been discounted.
Now, when you now say you want to transfer it to you, becoming
Personal,
personal,
yeah, okay.
you now want to go do what? Go ahead.
It's
Go.
going to be more higher.
expensive.
And who's
Yes.
going to pay for that?
Yourself.
Yourself, yeah.
Good.
It's coming out
I
of
just
pocket.
I want our people to
Okay.
get clear understanding of it. Don't just go and say, good, I'm going to resign tomorrow.
And well, I mean, for some people that may not be insurable, that could be the only option they have.
Okay.
So think somebody that maybe is a cancer survivor or has like a health condition that a regular coverage may not be as accessible to them because they're no longer insurable.
Okay.
With that, that's like the only option. So while it's going to cost them more, at
Yeah,
least it's
right.
better than nothing.
Nothing, absolutely.
Right. So that's for that one. The term also is a temporal type of coverage. What I mean by that is you can have 10 years, 15, 20, 25. Absolute max is 30 years.
Okay.
It tends to be more affordable. It's the one that you hear people say, okay, well, buy term and invest the rest.
Okay.
Right? Or, oh, buy it now. Like you said, the children will be grown, they'll be out of the house. Then even if you pass and you don't give them anything, that should be fine. But that is like contrary to what the Bible says, that a good man will leave an inheritance for his children's children, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So, but that's like your one main disadvantage about the term. You buy it when you're healthy, when you're young, it's affordable. Now you're in your 60s, you're in your 70s, all these maybe health issues have shown up. Or even if a person is still healthy, because old age doesn't mean ill health, right? But it is now a lot more expensive than what it was when the person purchased it when they were at their youth or the prime of their lives. So that's for the term. When you talk about all life, yes, that's, so we say refers to maybe temporal. Now the ones I'm talking about will be permanent. Those ones give you longer coverage. Your whole life, at least till age 100. Yes, some of them will have the ability for you to grow cash in it.
Okay, so when we're talking about, because that is where the interesting comes. So we're talking about, because that's the we always have to
right,
when it comes
right.
to cashing money out, we should be looking at all life insurance.
Well,
Break it down.
so I will. I will. Oh, like I just mentioned before you interjected, right? I said some may have cash, some may not.
Not
So
all.
not all. So you need to understand what you're getting yourself into. I know someone who, the person who spoke to her said, okay, well, this account you can grow your money and all that, and she innocently believed that what the guy was offering was what she was getting. Only for when I got to now talk to her, and I said, okay, let's review what you have. I'm not going to sway you either way. At least with the knowledge I have, my duty is to help you know what you have and at least assure that you're either settled or maybe you need to act fast. Long story short, yes, she did have a whole life, but it wasn't the one that was participating, meaning it wasn't the one that was, growing money for her. So
Now, hold on, because when I'm doing things like this, I want to let my people get clear understanding.
Of
So that when
course.
they come to them,
yes,
they can quickly tell them, wait a minute. To get things clearer to people, because you see now all life insurance has different categories. So if somebody come to me and say, hey, buy whole life insurance, it's a good one, even though it's expensive, it's okay for you, how will I know that what you're selling me does not have cash out? Because that will be my interest. Now, is there any way to know?
the thing is, when I would say run your numbers, the person talks to you, right? Then they should give you every coverage or product has what you call the buyer's guide, right? So you can also, even if it's not offered, you can request it. You can do your own research. Yeah, I always tell people, don't make the onus that of the person talking to you, because like they say, you can't give what you don't have. The person can only give as much as they know.
Absolutely.
Right? So you also do your due diligence, ask questions. Even after the contract has been initiated, there's something called a free look period, where the person purchasing the product is able to look over and say, okay, well, this thing is what you're saying it is, I'm satisfied. They keep it. Or if you you have any doubts, the person can always come back, sit down with you, and help you understand. Because of course you may not understand all the nitty-gritty, the jargons of it. So, but at least don't just say, okay, well, I trust you're doing what you said you would do, and then run with it. A lot of us don't want to take that responsibility, and that's why we're being scammed, yes, or our ignorance is costing us. When they say the ignorance is expensive, yes.
Yeah, that's where it comes in. All right, thank you so much for that. So before we get out of that whole life insurance, do you still have any question? I know you had one very intelligent question that I love. How do I get money out? What is it? That's what I like.
Yeah, I just want to know, how do you get money out if you have life insurance?
Okay. So like I said, when it comes to life insurance, use or get one that is truly a life insurance where you can get benefits. Yes, so the one that you can get money out from, they usually refer to them as the cash value life insurance, right? So that means it is building cash in it. And what that simply just means is when you're paying your monthly annual payments, which you call the premium on the account, right? A portion of that is being accumulated for you. And that you will really find in what we call the universal life or the index universal life.
Which is the next one I want to ask. Universal life insurance. What is that one?
So your universal life is a flavor of it, but let's say it's a cousin of the whole life, right? So, as it is with most things, you see something, it's like, okay, it's good, but what can we do to make it better? So hence the universal life. That one, it has a little bit more flexibility than the whole life, and you're able to accumulate cash in it. You can say, okay, well, guess what? This is how much you're saying I should pay, but I want to pay a little extra, right, on it. And that extra, as you're building cash, it also helps to accumulate your wealth. When we're talking about, okay, what you're transferring to your loved ones when the person is no longer there.
I know probably this is going to be a little bit challenging for you to answer the question, but I'm going to ask anyway. I'm not going to talk about term insurance because I know what that means.
No. Okay.
And many people, based on what you have told us now, they know. I know many people will be so much interested in cashing out money. Am I correct?
Yes, of course.
Put some comment there if you are not the type, and then we'll talk. I will come and talk to you. Maybe you're a billionaire. Now, between all life insurance and universal life insurance, if you should advise somebody, which one will you tell them to go for?
Okay, so
it's going to be challenging.
Yeah, as an independent financial professional, I don't. So, like I said, my duty is to educate people, right? I don't sway people either way because everybody, just like our fingers are different, right? Everybody has their unique needs. But what I will tell you is, okay, well, I sit with my clients and I say, okay, well, let me understand. Give me a full financial picture of your situation, right? Then based off of your needs analysis, I can make recommendations. Now, if I make a recommendation, we still need to think about the affordability and all of those other things, right? So a person may not be able to get one, maybe because of limited resources or medical problems. Yes, so
certain conditions.
So it's based off of individual situations,
and that's why they need a financial counselor like you.
Yes.
So meanwhile, you have had it. If you think you need more information, I'm going to put some information on the comment area that you can reach out to her, and you can see some link whereby you can get more information. We want to move quickly to the next one. I know this one many people knows about it, most especially in this part of the world. They call it final expense or burial insurance. We do know what that means, meaning you get insurance with funeral home, you pay up, and so that when the person passes away, all the funeral arrangements, expenses, it doesn't come from the family. And I know when we are talking, you talk about governments did something which somebody financed when they pass away. Do you want to talk a little bit more before we wrap it up into financial literacy we are talking about?
So when it comes to final expense, it's just the person being responsible, right? It tends to be, well, depending on how much the person feels like they want to get, but they get it, and that is really targeted to what, okay, well, maybe they're making provision for what's supposed to bury them. That's a person being responsible, right? It can come as a standalone type of coverage, yes, or it can be looked into. The universal life is very versatile. It's a very versatile type of account, and some companies would even give you like maybe a rider to say, okay, well, oh, you have this one, but we would, there's this rider that is available that can also be targeted to what, so like your final, and the same applies also to long-term care. I know you didn't mention long-term care there, but long-term care is also something that a lot of people need.
First of all, before you mention if they need it, what is long-term care?
So long-term care, well, nobody really prays to be sick, right? But at the same time, it's something that when you have it, it secures you. I mean, we're talking all this portfolio, though, like your life insurance is really a protection account, right? So long-term care is just saying, okay, well, should a person have a need, a health need,
a medical need,
needed, exactly. That maybe necessitates that they have to go into a group home, a nursing home, assisted living, or maybe they even get the care in their homes. Then something will be paid
towards that.
Toward that.
Isn't government taking care of that through Medicare?
I wish. I mean, the government
Because
has.
that's the question some people will ask and say, I don't need to buy it. Government will take care of me, right?
It is very
But
true.
not everything.
No, but not people do not know that. People
That's
do not.
true.
A lot of people feel like, okay, well, you know what? If I get sick, I've been paying my taxes after all. I'm a law-abiding citizen, blah blah blah. I'll just go downtown to the city office and say, okay, well, I want to apply for Medicaid. And yes, government has Medicaid, but what people do not realize is there's no free lunch in America.
They didn't cover everything. So.
Yes, there's no free lunch. So before the government would say, okay, well, yes, we're putting our, taxpayers' dollars towards funding your health needs. How much do you have for yourself? Remember, we have Social Security. By the time they pull up that person's profile, they say, oh, Mr. James, we see that you have $10,000 in your savings account. That's you, right? With Wells Fargo. And you say, yes. Okay. Well, you know what? You still have money. How about you start with that $10,000? Then when you're down to $2,000, you can come back. Then we will help you.
You're shitting in the system.
No. We see that you've paid off your home, Mrs. Something. Okay, since you paid it off, you could sell it. You'll get good dollars for that.
You're sick. You need something to take care of yourself.
You need something to take care of yourself.
Absolutely.
How about you sell that? Starts with your care. And then when you're down to like rock bottom, that's what they call spend down for people who may not know it.
Oh, yes. We always hear spend down. If they have above 2,000, they
Yes.
believe that you have money, they are going to suspend all your benefits.
And it's not only, it's so interesting that imagine, okay, well, maybe a spouse, husband or wife is the one who's sick. When they have shared resources, that's why I'm glad that, okay, well, but I mean, I've been talking to both of you, and this is a topic that everybody,
Even family members should sit down and watch.
Yes, should watch, should learn. Because, like, we all come to America, we didn't come to come and just sweep, the streets. We came because we had the promise of a better life.
Absolutely.
But then, because we do not understand the system, we become victims of the same system that we thought was going to be helping us better our
May
lives.
God have mercy on us. May God help us.
Amen.
Now, do you still have any more questions, my darling wife, before I move to the next one?
Yeah, she was talking about you must have your resources before you apply for life insurance, right?
Yes, sorry.
So can you explain more about that?
The resources, like ability to fund it, is what I mean.
Okay,
right?
so you must be working, you must be earning money.
You must be earning. Some people are not even earning. Maybe, okay, imagine someone's parent passed, or maybe a grandparent, bequeathed some money to that. Yes, that is still a source of money that they have. But ultimately, when you get life insurance, money is involved.
Okay.
And one thing I would say, another reason why life insurance is so powerful, a lot of people, in our heads, we want to work hard for money to build our wealth, right? But life insurance is one very easy way for you to buy wealth.
Okay.
What I mean
Explain more
by
on
that is,
that.
yes, what I mean by that is, okay, so let's look at it. I'll use both of you as examples. You both want $5 million, right? Or you say, okay, well, if I pass today, I want to at least have $5 million because I want to give my children, my grandchildren, and all that, because you're responsible at all. That's good. Now you decide that, okay, I have to work. You do like 5 jobs, then you're doing this business, and you're just like working, forgetting the fact that the more you work, the more you earn, the more you pay back.
The more expensive, and even in taxes, the more money
that's
you
what I
make.
mean.
Okay, good.
The higher you earn, the higher your taxes.
Absolutely.
Right?
Mhm.
So you're going that route because you feel like you have to work hard to create the wealth that you need. And she says, okay, well, at least I'm working. I have this money that they're paying me. Okay, let me buy this $5 million coverage. I'm just paying the premium. You know that she is already worth $5 million because she bought that $5 million coverage.
Somewhere.
She doesn't have it in a bank. She has not even paid the company that $5 million. But God forbid, if anything were to happen today, the $5 million will be. So that's why I say it's better to buy wealth than to try to make it.
Nothing happens.
If nothing happens, but if nothing happens, guess what? She's still worth $5 million, and every money she pays, right, is building cash for her. Is also increasing. If she has like that universal life, it's increasing that $5 million. I know someone that got a type of coverage like that, and unfortunately, the coverage did not kill her. It's not the policy that killed her. She did not know that barely a year after she got that policy, she would not be alive anymore. She had worked hard in this country. By the time she passed, within 2 weeks, the over 1.6 million that she had accumulated was given to her beneficiaries. But all the 403B, all her banking information, accounts and all that, all those other portfolios were frozen.
Yeah, that people, they always say that.
Why?
Because
that is the government policy. They will freeze it for at least 6 months.
At least.
According to what some financial professional account told me was that they want to know whether that person owe anybody. They want
So
to
they
pay
will
back.
pay everything.
They want to make sure they pay back all the debt he or she owes. It is after that they now call the relatives and say, come and
This
take
is what is
That
left.
that was why one woman was giving testimony in the show that she said she didn't know that she needed to report. They just hijack everything. But when he got to know, he now fight it. But after that, they have done all they are now released everything back, the house and everything back to the woman. So if people don't know this, and that's why we are doing this for people to have an understanding that you might think you are working, you might think you have money in account, you have about 5 million and all that. God forbid if anything should happen, that account is going to be frozen until government thinks probate system until government think okay, we have checked everything, you don't owe anybody, take your money back. But probably that time it might have been too late.
Imagine that, but that's why we see GoFundMe,
Exactly.
community of friends in our community.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you see people that have money and you know that they're wealthy, but yet, or at least they were good. And then the family is like, oh, we need money to bury, we need money to pay school fees.
Because they
we
couldn't
need
lay
money.
their hands on the
the-
account of that particular individual.
Right.
That's why this thing that we're seeing is very important. Please watch it again, pay attention, do your research, and take an informed decision. And that now brings me, as we are rounding up, to try to tie this thing back to the financial literacy we are talking about. So, in other words, financial literacy isn't just about working hard, making money. It's about how you protect your investment. Am I correct?
It's how
Please
you-
tell
it's
our
how
people
you-
more about that.
Like I said, it's not just your investment, how you protect what truly matters to you. Like we just finished talking about probate. Of course, every man, every parent, or let me start parent, they care about their children.
Absolutely.
They care about, okay, well, God forbid if something happens today, what's going to happen? How would my family fare, right? But if you're not literate enough, maybe it's first of all getting this type of protection, then you're already, even though you love them, you're not serving them right. Right? Now, the other step is, and Robert Kiyosaki said this, he said it's not how much money you make, but how hard it works for you and how much of it would serve your loved ones when you're no more here.
When you pass on.
Yeah, I mentioned Rockefeller earlier. There's another wealthy man that existed in America, Vanderbilt. He was also rich, but how much of the name Vanderbilt do you hear these days?
Absolutely.
Because when he left, he made the money. He left, he passed it on, but he didn't pass that knowledge.
It's
He
like-
didn't put tools in place.
It's like many rich people in Africa. They were rich when they were alive. People know them.
Yeah.
They spend it. But after they pass on, all the business collapse.
Yeah.
Everything collapse. Why? Because there's nothing that secure those investments that they have. I think that's a good one.
Yeah, everything starts with financial literacy, and that's why you don't even. It's not just for with the parents alone. We start with the children. We have to start to educate them because in school, unfortunately, they won't sit you down and show you all the benefits. No, I was in an MBA school. Literally, one of my professors said, "I'm not going to use these textbooks because they're obsolete." Meanwhile, those were the books that were in the curriculum. At least he took it a step for them to say, "Okay, well, no, I'm going to teach you what is practical." Right, but they don't teach you all those things in school.
Absolutely.
Right, and that's why it's on us to learn and ensure that our loved ones, we pass on that knowledge to people and bridge that gap so that we secure what really matters to us.
So in order to make this practical, thank you so much. You have done a great justice to this, and I believe probably to some extent my wife has understood something.
Yeah, but I see how.
You have a question?
Yeah,
Okay, please go ahead before.
Yeah, this question is still going back to the cash.
Okay. Ability to take
how
money out.
much, can you take out and when can you take money out?
So your ability to take, at least one good thing I'll tell you is you can take money out while you're still alive, right? And it's not like they'll ask you what you need it for. Unlike, maybe I should try to just compare, right? With our retirement accounts. They may not also ask you why you're taking it, but then you have penalties. You can, you have to be at least 59 and now to take it, otherwise you'll pay penalty, right? But with this one, fine, it's like you don't plant a seed today and expect to take money out tomorrow. But what I also mentioned earlier, if you remember, I said one good thing about the universal life, you can say, because you're able to pay your premium, it's a flexible premium schedule. So you can say, for instance, okay, well, I would like to take money out next year because I have this goal. How much extra can I put in this so that I can accomplish? So you can do that with this type of your 401k or your 403b, even if you have the money, by virtue of your age, the government puts it on how much you can contribute into it. Yeah, you don't have that. But taking money out, you absolutely can. I just took some money out of it, right? Take it out, or you just need to, like I said, you study whatever come giving you that portfolio, that contract, and you understand the terms. There's something you can take a loan, for instance, you can take a draw. Both options are available to
So
you.
what's the difference between loan and withdrawal?
So it's still pure English, right? If you go a loan, we know it's like when you use your credit card. If you don't pay it within the payment cycle, then you know you're paying interest. That's the
Okay.
right? So the loan here also, so there's an interest on it. But the good thing is it's still a very low rate, with maybe your credit card at least 18%.
Or 20 something percent.
It's usually 24 or 27,
But
but
if you have a good
one, it's 18%, right? But this one, I mean, if someone, the highest I've seen is like 5%.
5%, yeah.
Yeah.
You're talking about from your retirement?
From your universal life.
Life insurance.
Yeah.
Okay,
The highest I've seen is like 5%. Right? The withdrawal, you can take it. The only thing is, I mean, you're not going to, they won't even say pay us back. It's on you. But remember, you're trying to build something for your loved ones too, right? If you take it just for the sake of, then they now tell you that, okay, well, it's going to reduce, your balance. Because this thing grows at a compounded, it has compound interest.
Absolutely.
Right? So because of the compound, if you go take your withdrawal, it's like when you go to your bank, if you have $10,000 bank balance, right, and you take out 5, then you're left buying. So that's the same thing.
So you don't have to pay
back.
back.
I mean, you could
your money.
pay. It's your money. It's your money.
It's
But you're hurting
when you
yourself.
withdraw money from your account, it's your money.
So they
Right?
won't charge you like
Any interest? No,
5%.
They won't charge you an
10%.
interest,
Okay.
but the growth, you're impeding the growth.
So meaning if
That's
your
why I
growth
like
should be
that.
1
That is
million,
good.
let's say meaning your growth should be 1 million, you go there and take 500,000. So definitely you have decreased 1 million
Right.
down to 500,000. It's because it's like you put money in the account, you withdraw from the money. Unless you put that money back. You don't have the whole money. That's what he's trying to say.
I got it.
Yeah. So in order not to waste too much of our time, quickly, I want us to just quickly use this upon to do what I call to action with insurance angle. So what do you want to tell people? Again, quickly, friends, here is the takeaway from what we have been talking about. We need to understand our financial position. We need to be educated on how we manage our finances. It's not about just working until we drop dead and then we have nothing to even show for it. And that's why we are talking about all these things. And from what we have heard so far, we've got to know that life insurance might play some crucial role in building our wealth, in securing our future, and probably leave a legacy behind. But we need to know the kind of insurance we need to go for in order to be sure we don't make mistake, right?
Yes.
So please polish it well for me as we are closing.
I mean, you rightly said it. Life insurance is a very powerful tool. I call it a pocket knife. It serves many roles. When people don't know, they don't know, and they won't do what could be, beneficial to them. Another thing I would say is when it comes to life insurance, every second counts, right? There's something called being insurable. There's so many people that feel like, oh, I have to wait till I have extra. But guess what? That delay can cost them. I mean, it won't cost them their lives. Life insurance does not kill anybody. Exactly. But their ability to be protected could be lost because they did not ask time. Yes.
So now I won't let us go on till I read. You still have questions?
Yes, yeah.
Please go ahead and ask that question. Yeah, please go ahead.
How does it build our?
How does it build our
Yes.
wealth? So just if we look at it from even the death insurance perspective, right? Remember what I said about you buying wealth. So a person is not worth what they're purchasing. Most times, even unless if a person is buying like 5,000 and you already have 20,000, then you say you're worth more than what you're buying. But that example where I said, okay, well, both of you want $5 million. You may not be worth $5 million right now, but guess what? Because you're still insurable and because you can afford on that amount, $1 million. Now you're already worth $5 million, and what I mean by that is, God forbid, if that person drops dead to $5 million is what the family, the beneficiaries will be getting.
Even though you have not paid that $5 million,
of course,
it's good.
Because there's something called unilateral when it comes to like insurance. The company is under obligation to pay what they've promised. As long as you keep fulfilling your own part, which is paying your premium. Yeah, as long as you keep paying your premium, God forbid, when God says okay, it's time to come, they are under obligation to pay that amount. So but that's one way of building.
But if that person now live long,
if the person, if so, for instance, the
and
universal
the person keep on paying.
No, as long as you fulfill your own part of the obligation, right? There's an age which is like a terminal age. If that person lives up to that level and they're still alive, then of course they get
they can get the money back.
That's the endowment.
Okay, so you have had it. If you go for that, just go and pray that God will not take you until that time, so that you can enjoy the good work of your hand.
Can I have another question? Sorry.
Rounding up.
age that you can apply for insurance?
So with the Index Universal Life, for instance, I love that. I love that product. You can open it for a child as young as 2 weeks, 15 days, as early as 2 weeks old of a person's life. You can get it. The maximum, I would say, maybe like 73, 75, just because then nursing is going to be a lot more expensive. But that's, but it's actually not like your terminal age. It depends on the company that you're talking to. But the rule of thumb is the older a person is, the more expensive it gets to insure them. And that's why, I tell parents, I tell, siblings, I tell young people, single people, get it now. Get it now that you can still afford it. Get it now that you're still insurable. Get it now that's affordable.
All right, thank you so much. Again, that question that you just asked now, that you just supply answer to, is what I wanted to try to relate with, which is not necessarily anymore. When somebody's younger, there's likelihood that the insurance coverage will be cheaper. But as people begin to get older, it's likely to be expensive. And many things is factored into that. Even the health of that person.
Yeah, they also look at the mortality
risk.
rate. Yes.
Yeah, because this guy can buy insurance today and drop there tomorrow.
Yes.
They will still need to pay. So that is what we are talking about here, which is very, very good. We answered that question. So again, we can't cover everything here. There's no doubt we can cover. Otherwise, we are going to sleep here and you are going to sleep with us, because you need to keep on watching, right? Am I correct? We encourage you, look for good, genuine financial advisor that can guide you, all right? And my sister here is going to put her information on the comment area. Reach out to her. Probably if she agrees, we'll put her phone number or her email address. Shoot her an email, get more information. Don't go and buy insurance, whatever the insurance you want to buy, until you get clear understanding of what you are doing. And by so doing, it's an investment that will definitely bring back profits to you. All right, and not in insurance only, even in every aspect of financial needs. And I believe she'll be more than happy to do that. Read book, do research.
Yes, there's definitely a lot more portfolios that one can use. But in your insurance products, definitely something that everybody needs to have in their portfolio. Start where you are. Start with what you can afford. It's better to have something than nothing. You see, most times when people pass, you go for service of songs, you go to commiserate people. They may not say it out loud, but it's like, do they have insurance? Because people, it's the first thing people would ask, but it's the last thing they really want to listen to. When you're telling them, some people will block you. They would like, no, I'm not trying to die yet. Exactly. Yes, but it's time we know and take it for what it is. It is not intended to kill anyone.
And that reminds me of somebody. They say, hey, you are getting old, probably you need to have a burial plan. I say, why are you guys trying to kill me? That person reported, I say, you two shouldn't have presented it that way, because when you say you go and get burial plan, you are telling the person is about to die. Nobody wants to die, even if it's 100 years old.
Yes.
So we have to take it easy. Again, I really want to thank you so much. Remember, and I want to say remember, it is not about creating fear in you. It is about giving you wisdom and preparation on how to manage your money, so that in the future you struggle less. All right. Again.
Okay, just say one quick thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
So another thing people ought to know is our community, it's maybe not a culture that we're really used to, but you'll be amazed to know that even corporations have life insurance.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying.
Companies, you see some company today, they'll say they've gone bankrupt, but they have life insurance. So it's like, okay, well, that company that we insured is there, give us money, they will go resurrect as another company. So if they're smart enough to do that,
How much more
individuals?
Did you hear that?
So,
I'm hearing that for the first time. I do know companies have some kind of insurance, but I wouldn't know that they have some kind of life insurance.
And
that was why some people saying, Elon Musk is going to go bankruptcy and blah blah because they are vandalized. I said, don't deceive yourself. There's insurance in the company. Whatever they vandalize, insurance will pay back. At the end of the day, premium might increase because they might begin to see his company as a risk. But they're going to pay back whatever they do.
Oh, you see some of this, and I know we're about to round up. I just remembered Rudy Giuliani.
Yeah.
It's the when they started to sue him and all that. Yeah. What happened is like, I don't have money, because all his money is in some other portfolio that they cannot.
And so if he had some money saved somewhere, the court will have given order to begin to take
they can garnish his bank account. They can take over
they can't
his
take
assets.
His insurance money. They can't do anything. So that's a very good one. Again, I really want to thank you, Sister Dal, for being part of this, and I want to thank my wife for joining me. At least that makes my life easy. I won't need to explain much because she have had it, and she now knows the source. If she needs more information, she'll come back to her. Don't come to me. All right. So again, what we are saying here is that the American dream is not just about what you have or what you have built, but also about what you protect and pass on to posterity. My prayer is that you are not going to do it in vain in the precious name of Jesus Christ. Until I see you again, continue to be basking in the blessing of God. Take care and thank you so much.
Okay, thanks.
Bye.
Bye for now.
Yeah.